So, we have another play-in day. This time it's the ninth against the 10th seed, so it's not gonna be as fun as tonight probably, but maybe next year they'll readjust and have the 8th playing the 9 or something, or just some games quota, or I don't know, but at least it's more playoff games today, I suppose, or playoff type games, and we have the Raptors and the Bulls. First, I want to just quickly talk about what I think about this game, who I think is gonna win, and stuff like that. If you want to chime in with your thoughts, feel free to do in the comment section. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about discussion, and I hope we get there one day where we can have just so many conversations in the comments and why we love basketball, why the sport is great, and what you think about games and everything with as much good intention as possible. That's what I'm trying to do, really. As the Bulls have had a good stretch after the All-Star break. The same goes for the Raptors. They have both teams have been playing their best basketball at the right time. All right, so the Raptors have been 13-10 to end this year after the All-Star break, while the Bulls record was 14-9. Both teams have played some of their best basketball overall and played some really good defensively, I'm pretty sure, because the defensive rating has to be one of the better in the league, in my opinion, with both teams, how they played, at least visually, right? Not sure if the stats back me up, but both teams seem to be one of the better defenses in the league after the All-Star break, and it's gonna be a really interesting battle with that part. Who can force more turnovers? Who can get more steals? Who can get more blocks? Who's gonna get more rebounds? It's gonna be a lot about these kind of right on the edge things, right? Where who forces more turnover? Who gets their hands more on the ball? Who is more hustling for these boards? It's gonna be really important, especially considering the last time these two played, which was at the start of March, and the Raptors took 94 shot attempts to the Bulls 71, man. They out-rebounded them by a lot, and they took 23 more shot attempts, which is just crazy and just insane, right? And I feel like the Raptors should have the rebounding edge, especially considering their length and size against these Bulls, who will have some small guards in there, whether that's Patrick Beverley, whether that's Kobe White, whether that's, of course, Alex Caruso, who's a little smaller, and who knows who we might see, maybe Ayodosumu also, right? So those are some smaller guards, while the Raptors have just Fred VanVleet as the smaller guard, and he's one of the better defenders in his, position, even maybe, and especially at that size that he is at 6 foot. So the defensive edge, shouldn't be as much of a difference here in terms of that, but the size advantage should be on the Raptors' size, and the length advantage overall just should be on the Raptors' size, which means they need to get more rebounds and turnovers. But the last time it was, of course, the Bulls were better at turnovers while the Raptors were out rebounding them, so it evened out, and that's why the game was so close. At the same time, who knows? But if I were to predict things, I would say the Raptors will, be the more aggressive team, the more hungry team, since they have been playing really well, and they, of course, are at home. They traded for Jakob Poeltl, so I think they will be the hungrier team tonight. But you can underestimate a Patrick Beverley team, right? He has not missed the playoffs yet, I'm pretty sure, in his career, so we'll see. But let's talk about some matchups here. DeMar playing against Toronto, which is intriguing, and him against OG Anunoby. OG seems like one of the better defenders that you could have on DeMar DeRozan, but at the same time, DeMar has been pretty solid against him in his career. Nothing special, but not too bad, right? But there is a chance OG can really slow him down, and if that happens, they're gonna need Zach LaVine to show up more, right? Who's gonna be on Zach LaVine? Maybe Scottie Barnes, probably Scottie Barnes, and he needs to exploit that matchup with his speed. He has lost some, but he still should be a little quicker at least than Scottie Barnes, of course, at his size. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how these matchups work, and who do they hunt on defense? Will they hunt Patrick Beverley, right? Will they hunt those smaller guards with Scottie Barnes handling the ball, getting the ball in the post on these mismatches, or overall just getting the ball in the post and trying to find the open shooters or creating for himself? I think Scottie is gonna be a real key in this matchup, as he needs to just be assertive offensively early. He needs to assert himself on offense, whether that's getting some easy fouls against the Bulls, whether that's getting some good shots, creating some good shots. Just assert yourself early, make a couple of baskets, make a couple of good passes, maybe get some foul calls on some of the players on the Bulls, and If he asserts himself, that should open up a lot more for these Raptors, whether that's perimeter shots, whether that's some cuts to the baskets from Pascal or maybe even Jakob Portl, right? Some pick and rolls with those players. It's gonna be real intriguing, and of course, Vucevic needs to be better than Jakob Portl tonight for the Bulls to have a chance, especially considering the offense, right? Because Jakob Portl will be better defensively, very likely, but Nikola Vucevic, of course, has the offensive upside. So if he's knocking down his mid-rangers, if he's knocking down his free balls, it would be huge for the Bulls to have that, space in there where, he's locked in and he's just making it. And that's going to be really interesting to watch, but my money is on Jakob Poeltl. Even though Vucevic has had an okay season, especially after the All-Star break, I think Poeltl is just going to be better tonight. Siakam against Patrick Williams, on the other hand. Well, Siakam, I don't know who's gonna be put on. Pascal Siakam, probably Patrick Williams off the bench, or I don't know. Will they start Patrick Williams maybe and start Caruso at the point guard so they have the more size? Will it be just Patrick Beverly? I don't know. It is expected that it will be Patrick Beverly, but we can't know that for certain, right? And of course, it's gonna be intriguing. I just don't think they have the good enough weapons. But when you look at this last matchup, both Siakam and Demar and these guys who you thought they would have the offensive advantage struggled offensively in a way. They weren't efficient. Defense of course obviously depends how they shoot, man, how they make those pull-up mid-rangers and those push shots that Jakob Poeltl likes to do, man. If they are making them, it's going to be real easy for the Raptors. But if they are missing them, it's not. Of course, this is hard-hitting analysis, you could say, but it really depends, right? The Raptors won even when those guys were missing, and you would think they have the advantage anyway. So when they were missing last time and you still won, do you expect them to miss in a much, larger scale game when Pascal Siakam won an NBA title? Maybe Jakob Poeltl you do expect to miss more, but Pascal Siakam has won an NBA title and he was one hell of a participator in that. He was not just some guy that was there, man. He was one of the best players on that team, right? So you would expect that those looks will go down even more, and you need the Bulls to match that offensive efficiency or just take away the spots for Siakam, those mid-range pull-ups, take away those take away those dump ins to Jakob Poeltl where he just gets an easy hook shot, push shot. Point of attack defense should be great for both teams. I want to focus on that a little bit here because both teams have been great defensively. They have really good defenders at the point of attack and overall at the perimeter. So that's going to be intriguing to watch. And of course, the matchup between Caruso, Fred VanVleet, and these guards, right? Can Caruso and everyone, outplay Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent? Pretty much it is at the guard spot for the Raptors. And I feel like that the three-point shooting needs to be a huge advantage for Toronto because they don't have the better shooters overall, but I think they shoot the dribble a little more and a little better at the end. And I think they can create much better looks considering how the Bulls should want to stack up in the paint against them, right? So if they are knocking down those three balls, get ready to knock down those corner threes. If they knock them down at a reasonable rate, I think this matchup is just really good for the Raptors in my opinion, right? I'm still expecting it to be a pretty close game, but I'm expecting it to be quite, not that comfortable, but somewhat comfortable win for the Raptors. Yeah, that's about my thoughts for this game. What do you think?